Hello everyone. Today in this video, we are going to discuss about writing skills. Under writing skills, we are going to cover three topics. In first part, we are going to discuss about newspaper report writing. In second part, we are going to discuss about how to write biography. And in third part, we are going to discuss how to write a summary. Let's begin with the topic. First, newspaper report writing. So do you know, news reports usually start with the most important information and the provided additional details. Second, a good news report answers the 5 whys, W's. Who, what, when, where, why, and H, how, to cover the whole story. The first paragraph, called the lead, is key because it gives a summary and grabs the reader's attention. Writing in the active voice, where the subject does the action, makes the report easier to understand. And last point, checking facts carefully is important to make sure the news is correct and trustworthy for readers in writing a news story structure. Now let's discuss how to write a news report. We all read newspaper, and often we only glance at the headlines. If a headline grabs our interest, we might read the full article. If the rest of the article isn't engaging, we may skip it. Writing a news report is different from writing a journal article. A news report aims to inform the reader about what happened without adding personal opinions. Knowing how to structure your news report properly will help you share information clearly and effectively. Now let's discuss the most important part, structure of a news report. A news report should follow a clear news story structure to be effective and interesting. Headline. This is a short, catchy line that tells what the story is about. It should grab attention and make the reader want to learn more. Byline. This part names the person who wrote the story. It gives credit to the reporter and can also show their role or connection to the news. Lead. The lead is the first paragraph and includes the most important facts. It answers the key questions like who, what, when, where, why, and how, to quickly tell the reader the main points of the story. Body. This section gives a detailed account of the event. It adds more information and context, including quotes and background details, to help the reader understand the story fully. Ending. The ending wraps up the story. It may summarize the main points or provide a final thought or solution, giving the reader a complete picture of the event in the news story structure. Now let's have an example of news report structure and content. Example, local school event. Headline, local school wins national science fair. Byline, by Jane Doe, local reporter. Lead, the Greenfield High School science team secured first place at the National Science Fair held in Washington, D.C. on June 5th. Body. The team's project focusing on renewable energy solution impressed judges with its innovative approach. Principal John Smith praised the students for their dedication and hard work. The victory brings a proud moment for the community, which has been supportive of the school's science program. Ending. The school plans to celebrate the win with a special assembly next week, where students will share their project and experience with the community. Now let's begin with our second part of the video, biography. So for that, go for a chronological structure. Like first write subject. In subject you should write the person name. Like here, Robert Johnson, first mayor of hometown Indiana. First point, birth and early childhood. Second, birth of his siblings. Third, early years before the stock market crash of 1929. Fourth, difficult period of John's early life. To understand more about biography, here we have a simple timeline of William Shakespeare, like born, in which year he was born, 1564, then in 1582 marriage, in 1583 first daughter, in 1585 twins born, in 1592 wrote Upset Crow, in 1593 wrote Venus and Adonis, in 1594 wrote lots of poems, sonnets, plays, in 1601 wrote Hamlet, his father died, in 1611 retired from theatre, and in 1616 he died. So in this manner you can write a biography of any great personality or a known personality. So this is all about how to write biography. You can follow this timeline of anyone. Okay, now let's talk about our third part of the video, summary. So what is a summary? A summary is a short version of an original text that outlines the main points in a specific structure. The length of your summary usually depends on the length of the original text. Longer articles or proposals may require longer summaries to address all the ideas, while short text may have only one paragraph. There are 4 common elements to include when creating a summary, which includes the following. Now these are 4 common elements. First, introductory sentence. For a summary, often state the author and the text title. Second, main points of the original text. This restates the main points the author conveyed. Third, supporting argument. Here, you list the arguments that support the author's thesis or main ideas. Fourth point, final point. Conclude your summary with the final point for the author. How to write a summary? Here are steps you can follow to help you write more effective summaries. First, read the text thoroughly. Read the text several times to ensure you understand everything about the author's message. On the first read, focus simply on reading instead of pausing to take notes. Try to identify the purpose, the supporting argument, and any additional details. When you read the text in the second time, you can make comments in a notebook or in the margins of the text if you have a physical copy. Now, second step, take notes to identify the main idea. Write the main points, themes, or theses you recognize in the text. To identify this concept, try to determine the tone and category of the text. For example, it may be a literary essay or a scientific article. Next, try to find any repetitions in the text. If the author repeats some specific arguments throughout the text, it means they likely are essential. Reading the title and determining the publication, place, and date can help you learn more about the intended audience. Third step, identify the main arguments. Reread the text more carefully to find elements that support those main points. For example, you can look for repetitions, details referring to the title, or descriptions of characters. Here are tips for identifying important arguments in an article. Print a paper copy or use a digital version that allows you to take notes. Look for the sentence that tells the main concept in each paragraph and underline it. After you finish reading the entire article, read the topic sentences you underlined. Now, fourth step, prepare your draft. Rephrase those sentences on the side of the page or in your notebook. When you note these elements, consider writing them in your own words and leave out any unimportant details. Write down the author's first and last name and the title of the article for later reference. Now let's begin with the main point. Fifth step, write the summary. You can start your summary with the author's name and the title of the text. For example, you can use some variations of according to Martin Somers in The Child and the Wolf to introduce your text. Then include the thesis of the author in. Now, sixth step, quote the author. Quoting a specific passage from the author may be one of the best ways to explain their main point. If the author has a credential such as a position of power or a relevant award, you can mention it to help demonstrate the authority of the text. For example, you can say something like, in his lecture about inflation, Polders, a professor in economics at the Southern University, to introduce the author and make the claim that comes next to sound more reputable. Now, seventh step, conclude the summary. Restate the author's conclusion or last main point to end your summary. Even though a summary is a short text, restating the most important part can help ensure your audience understand what you are trying to convey. If this summary is for a professional presentation, consider listing the most important piece of data in the summary to help the audience remember it. Now, last step, correct and refine. Once you complete your summary, consider reading it out loud and make any necessary corrections. Delete any repetition and try to transition words when necessary to help every sentence flow to the next. Also, check your grammar and spelling to ensure your summary doesn't have errors. You can have a friend or colleague read your summary to help notice any correction you may have missed. So at the end, I hope you liked the video. For more grammar videos, stay tuned to the ABZ network. Till then, take care, bye-bye, have a great day everyone.
Give this video a huge thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click on the bell beside the subscribe button to be notified every time we upload. Until next time, take care and stay tuned to the ABZ network on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook.